Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Expensive Coins, where we talk about the most valuable and sought-after treasures in the coin market. If you love rare finds, hidden gems, and historical currency that can change fortunes, then make sure to like, subscribe, and also share this video. Today, we are exploring the top rare half-penny coins from the United Kingdom, years 1891, 1914, 1916, 1938, 1940, and 1957. These small copper coins, sometimes silver-toned through age or found in dirty, well-worn condition, have become major players in the world of coin collecting. Now, the British halfpenny was more than just a coin. It was everyday money for the working class, a coin that circulated through markets, shops, and pubs for generations. From the reign of Queen Victoria in the 19th century, through King George V, George VI, and finally Queen Elizabeth II in the mid-20th century, the halfpenny tells a story of changing times in British history. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Expensive Coins, the place where history, beauty, and unimaginable value meet in the form of rare currency. Today's journey takes us into the heart of the United Kingdom's numismatic treasures, and we are going to explore one coin so powerful, so rare, and so astonishingly valuable that it has captured the imagination of collectors across the globe. I'm talking about the 1891 halfpenny from the United Kingdom, a coin that may look small, may look ordinary at first glance, but in the right form, in the right condition, this coin has the power to completely change your destiny overnight. Some call it just an old piece of copper, but the truth is that this tiny halfpenny has the potential to reach into the realm of millions of dollars in today's market. To understand why the 1891 halfpenny holds such a mystique, we must step back into the Victorian era. Queen Victoria had already ruled for over 5 decades by the time this coin was struck. The empire was at its height, stretching across continents, and every coin that left the royal mint bore the weight of Britain's authority and global influence. The halfpenny, though small in denomination, was a lifeline in everyday transactions. It passed from hand to hand in markets, paid for bread, milk, and small goods, and it represented the pulse of Victorian daily life. Yet, among the countless coins struck, the 1891 stands apart. Not every coin becomes legendary, but this one did, for reasons of rarity, condition, and the sheer aura it carries today. Collectors often describe coins as windows into the past, but the 1891 halfpenny is more like a key to a hidden treasure chest. It embodies not just a date, but a period of elegance and change. Queen Victoria's portrait on the obverse, known as the Jubilee head design, gives the coin a regal dignity. On the reverse, Britannia sits proudly with her shield and trident, the eternal symbol of Britain's strength and naval power. These details, struck more than 130 years ago, have grown rarer and rarer with time, because so many of these coins were lost, melted, or simply worn down into unrecognizable fragments. To find one today, in crisp detail, is to stumble upon a jewel hidden in plain sight. What makes this coin so ultra-rare and expensive is not only its age, but also its survival in the modern world. Imagine how many hands an 1891 halfpenny must have passed through. Workers in factories, sailors returning from voyages, families surviving in the heart of the Industrial Revolution. Most of those coins are gone, worn beyond recognition. But every now and then, a sparkling survivor appears, defying time itself. And when it does, collectors unleash their passion in fierce bidding wars, driving its value into the stratosphere. There is something magical about rarity. When a coin like this surfaces, its value is not dictated by its face value but by the hunger of collectors who understand its story. The 1891 halfpenny, especially in uncirculated or near-mint condition, is not just worth hundreds or thousands. It can soar into the unimaginable. Some auction houses have seen rare halfpennies reach valuations that leave even seasoned experts stunned. In whispers across numismatic circles, the 1891 is spoken of as one of those mythical coins that can elevate an ordinary collector into a millionaire, or perhaps even more, in a single night. The fascination doesn't stop at the market price. This coin holds an emotional pull. Owning one is like holding a fragment of Victorian England in your hand. It is a direct connection to a queen who became a symbol of an era, to a nation at the height of its industrial and imperial might, to ordinary lives woven into the fabric of history. The coin is more than a collectible. It is an artifact of pride, endurance, and timeless beauty. And when collectors see one in remarkable condition, their hearts race, for they know they are in the presence of something extraordinary. Now let us imagine the power of discovery. You are sifting through an old family collection, or you stumble upon a box of forgotten coins in a dusty attic. You pick up what looks like a dull piece of copper, marked 1891. To the untrained eye, it is just pocket change from another century. But to the expert, to the collector, it is a treasure of staggering proportions. That is the magic of the 1891 halfpenny. It hides its value beneath a humble disguise, waiting for the right person to recognize its worth. The coin's appeal is not limited to its beauty or design, but extends to the possibilities of its variations. Throughout history, mints sometimes struck coins with small differences, tiny errors, slight changes in detail, that today magnify the rarity of a piece. A misplaced mark, a faint double strike, or a unique die variety can multiply the value tenfold. With the 1891 halfpenny, any unusual variation instantly transforms an already rare coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, the kind of piece that collectors dream of their entire lives. The marketplace for coins thrives on competition, and few coins inspire such fierce competition as this one. Imagine a room full of bidders, each one determined to own the 1891 halfpenny in pristine form. As the bidding climbs, the tension rises, and suddenly the coin leaps from being a small copper piece to being a $1,000,000 artifact. It is in these moments that history, desire, and fortune collide, creating a spectacle that proves the power of numismatics. Even those who cannot afford to own one admire it from a distance. Museums, private collectors, and historians alike revere the 1891 halfpenny as a symbol of British coinage at its finest. It embodies craftsmanship, heritage, and rarity, and it reminds us that value is not always measured by size or denomination but by significance and scarcity. In today's market, where collectors span every corner of the globe, the 1891 halfpenny has become a universal prize. From Europe to America, from Asia to Africa, enthusiasts compete for the chance to add this jewel to their collection. Its fame has grown beyond the borders of the United Kingdom, making it an international legend among rare coins. This coin's value has been described as unimaginable, and for good reason. It can indeed transform lives. Someone fortunate enough to find one of these coins in their possession might suddenly find themselves catapulted into a new reality, with a fortune beyond what they ever dreamed. That is why experts warn, never, ever let such a coin go cheaply. To sell it at face value would be to throw away a golden ticket, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to grasp a treasure of immeasurable worth. There are stories of collectors who built entire fortunes starting with one rare coin. The 1891 halfpenny has that very power. It is not simply a collectible, it is a gateway to possibility. To hold it is to hold a piece of destiny, a coin that carries the whispers of the past and the promise of the future. The aura of the coin comes also from its aesthetic presence. The dark, aged copper tones, sometimes mistaken for silver by those unfamiliar, carry a beauty born of centuries. Even in dirty condition, the coin has an authentic charm. Collectors often say that the wear of time adds character, telling the story of its journey. It is this mix of beauty and endurance that makes the 1891 halfpenny irresistible. Think for a moment about all the other coins struck in the 19th century. Many are forgotten, overlooked, or melted down. Yet this coin survived. Next. Today, we uncover the story of a coin so extraordinary, so unbelievably rare, that its value in today's market is measured not just in dollars but in dreams. I am talking about the 1914 halfpenny from the United Kingdom, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike, a coin with the power to turn ordinary people into millionaires overnight. Do not mistake its size, for within this small copper treasure lies a fortune beyond comprehension. The year 1914 marked the dawn of one of the darkest times in modern history, the beginning of the First World War. Britain, proud and mighty, was entering a conflict that would reshape the globe. The coins minted in this year were more than simple tools of trade, they were silent witnesses to a world standing on the brink of chaos. Among them was the halfpenny, modest in denomination but extraordinary in significance. To own one today is to hold not just money but a relic of a time when empires trembled and history took a dramatic turn. The 1914 halfpenny is wrapped in mystery and allure. While millions of coins circulated through shops, taverns, and bustling markets of London, only a rare handful survived in pristine condition. Those that remain carry the striking image of King George V on one side, a monarch who led his people through the Great War. On the reverse stands Britannia, helmeted and regal, gazing over the seas as a symbol of Britain's strength. This pairing of monarch and national guardian makes the coin not just currency but an emblem of pride, duty, and endurance. What sets the 1914 halfpenny apart is its scarcity in collectible grades. Most were handled daily, rubbed smooth by countless exchanges. But the rare specimens that survive with sharp detail and glowing surfaces are treasures beyond imagination. Collectors pursue them like hunters chasing legendary beasts, knowing that a single coin in exceptional condition can fetch astronomical sums. It is this blend of rarity and history that pushes the value of the 1914 halfpenny into the realm of millions. Imagine discovering such a coin in an old drawer or inherited collection. To the untrained eye, it may appear like a simple piece of aged copper, tarnished by time. But to those who know its secret, that coin is no less than a golden key, a ticket to wealth, prestige, and recognition in the numismatic world. Overnight, what once seemed like a relic of small value becomes a life-changing fortune. That is the intoxicating magic of coins like the 1914 halfpenny. The coin is also a storyteller. Every scratch, every preserved shine whispers of the era it comes from. Soldiers may have held it in their pockets before marching to war, families may have used it to buy bread during days of rationing, and merchants may have passed it across worn counters while the world beyond their doors fell into turmoil. To hold one today is to touch the very heartbeat of 1914, a year of uncertainty and courage. And yet, the coin's legacy is not just historical, it is financial. Collectors around the globe know that the 1914 halfpenny can command staggering prices at auctions. Stories circulate of bidding wars where determined collectors refuse to back down, driving the price higher and higher until the final hammer falls. To them, it is not merely a purchase but a conquest, an acquisition of something so rare that money itself seems secondary to the triumph of ownership. What makes this coin even more alluring is the idea of its hidden power. Many people underestimate small denominations, focusing only on gold sovereigns or silver crowns. But it is precisely this halfpenny, humble and overlooked, that carries unimaginable value. Its ability to surprise, to emerge from obscurity and reveal itself as a priceless gem, gives it an almost mythical quality. It teaches us never to dismiss the humble, for sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest worth. Collectors often describe the thrill of encountering a 1914 halfpenny in high grade as electrifying. The sharp portrait of King George V, the proud stance of Britannia, the smooth ring of authentic metal, all combine to create an experience beyond words. In that moment, you are not simply looking at a coin. You are beholding history crystallized in copper, a time capsule from a century ago, alive in your hand. Its influence stretches even further, for owning one is not just about wealth or prestige, it is about legacy. Passing down a coin like the 1914 halfpenny is like passing down a crown jewel of history. It becomes a family heirloom, a treasure that carries with it both financial security and the honor of owning something profoundly rare. Few collectibles in the world can claim such power, such enduring mystique. The story of this coin reminds us of the unpredictable beauty of numismatics. Who could have imagined that a halfpenny, the smallest of denominations, once used for simple daily purchases, would one day be priceless? It is proof that history transforms value, and rarity elevates the ordinary into the extraordinary. The 1914 halfpenny embodies this transformation perfectly, standing today as a coin of legendary status. In the world of collecting, there are coins that are valuable, coins that are rare, and coins that are legendary. The 1914 halfpenny falls into that final, sacred category. It is not just an object of trade but a vessel of history, a key to fortune, and a symbol of Britain's resilience during one of its most challenging times. To own it is to own a piece of the nation's soul, and that is why its price climbs into unimaginable heights. So, if you ever come across one, remember this. Do not underestimate it, do not part with it cheaply, for within that coin lies the power to change lives. This is not just a halfpenny, it is a miracle in metal, a treasure of the ages, and perhaps the very key to your future fortune. Next. Today, we journey deep into the heart of the First World War, to a year when Britain was struggling to hold its ground amidst chaos, and yet from that year emerged one of the most captivating and ultra-rare coins of the United Kingdom, the 1916 halfpenny. This is not just a coin, it is a silent witness to history, a copper masterpiece that today holds the power to make you a millionaire overnight if you are lucky enough to possess it. The year 1916 was a year of blood and fire. The world was at war, and the United Kingdom was at the very center of it. The famous Battle of the Somme was fought, lives were lost in staggering numbers, and the British economy was under immense strain. In this climate, every coin minted became more than money. It was a token of survival, a small piece of a nation desperately trying to keep itself afloat. And among those coins, the halfpenny stood out for its humble size but extraordinary journey through history. On one side of this coin rests the dignified portrait of King George V, the monarch who carried the heavy burden of leading his people through the nightmare of war. His face on the coin is not merely decorative, it is symbolic of duty, responsibility, and resilience. Flip the coin over and you find Britannia, poised with shield and trident, gazing out over the seas. In that simple design, we see the spirit of a nation determined to defend its strength and protect its legacy even in the darkest times. The 1916 halfpenny carries a rarity unlike many others. Countless coins from that period were melted down, lost in circulation, or worn to the point of being unrecognizable. But the ones that survived in remarkable condition are today among the most precious in the world of numismatics. Collectors know that when one of these coins appears on the market, especially in pristine or near-pristine condition, the bidding can skyrocket to sums beyond imagination. This is where the magic begins. Imagine owning such a coin, one that has lived through the fires of war and the hardships of an empire under siege. To most people, it may look like a small copper token, discolored by time, but to those who understand its rarity and history, it is a priceless relic worth millions. And this is why the 1916 halfpenny has the power to transform ordinary people into overnight millionaires, rewriting fortunes in ways few other coins ever could. Each coin carries with it an untold story. Think of the soldier who may have carried it in his pocket as he marched into battle. Think of the mother who may have used it to buy bread while rationing tightened its grip on every household. These coins were not luxury items. They were the heartbeat of daily survival. And yet, because of their survival today in rare condition, they have risen from humble beginnings to become shining stars of the collecting world. Collectors are driven not only by the beauty of the coin but by the thrill of owning something so scarce. Auction houses have witnessed heated battles where determined bidders refuse to yield, driving prices into the stratosphere. For those few who manage to secure one, the 1916 halfpenny is more than an acquisition. It is a triumph, a conquest of rarity itself, and a claim to a piece of history that cannot be replaced. The allure of this coin also lies in its unexpected nature. When people think of valuable coins, they often picture large silver crowns or golden sovereigns. But here lies the twist. The 1916 halfpenny, a modest copper coin of the smallest denomination, has outshined many grander coins in terms of value. This paradox makes it irresistible to collectors. It proves that even the smallest can be the greatest when history, rarity, and condition align. To hold this coin in your hand is to feel its weight beyond copper. You sense the echoes of history, the roar of cannons, the courage of soldiers, and the endurance of families. It is not just a coin. It is a time capsule of Britain in one of its most defining years. That is why collectors do not merely buy the 1916 halfpenny. They cherish it, they revere it, and they guard it like a crown jewel. It also carries with it an aura of transformation. For anyone who discovers one tucked away in an old box, or passed down unknowingly through generations, it is like finding buried treasure. What seems ordinary suddenly reveals itself as extraordinary, and what once might have been dismissed as worthless copper now shines with the light of a fortune capable of changing lives forever. Owning a 1916 halfpenny is not just about wealth, it is about legacy. It ties you to a chapter of history when the world was trembling, when courage was tested, and when nations were reshaped. Passing such a coin down through your family is passing down a symbol of resilience, a treasure that will only grow more valuable with time. Its story becomes your story, and its fortune becomes your fortune. This coin teaches us an unforgettable lesson, that value is not always visible on the surface. It is hidden in rarity, preserved in history, and revealed only to those who truly understand. The 1916 halfpenny reminds us that greatness often comes in humble forms, and that sometimes the smallest coin can hold the largest treasure. So remember this, if you ever come across one, never underestimate it. Do not spend it, do not trade it away without knowing its worth. This coin is not a simple halfpenny, it is a key to unimaginable fortune, a miracle in metal, and a bridge between the struggles of the past and the opportunities of the present. The 1916 United Kingdom halfpenny is more than rare, more than valuable, it is legendary. And for those who are lucky enough to find it, it may very well be the turning point of their lives, the coin that carries the power to rewrite destiny itself. Next is Today, we dive into a story wrapped in copper, coated in history, and sealed with destiny. I am talking about the 1938 United Kingdom halfpenny, a coin so rare, so unbelievably valuable, that it is whispered about among collectors as a sleeping giant. Do not let its size fool you. This tiny piece of currency has the unimaginable power to turn lives upside down, to make millionaires overnight, and to remind us how the humblest of coins can carry fortunes beyond belief. The year 1938 was no ordinary year. Britain stood on the edge of war, with storm clouds gathering over Europe and a nation bracing itself for an uncertain future. Against this backdrop, the halfpenny continued to circulate, a small but vital part of everyday transactions. Yet, within this simple coin lies a powerful connection to that turbulent year, a year when history was being written with every passing day. The 1938 halfpenny is more than currency. It is a time machine, carrying us back to a Britain caught between peace and the looming threat of conflict. What makes the 1938 halfpenny so extraordinary is its rarity in surviving high grades. Countless coins from that era were heavily circulated, worn smooth by constant use in shops, markets, and daily life. But the few that survived in pristine or near-pristine condition have today become priceless relics. These coins are not just scarce, they are treasures, and collectors know that when one appears, the bidding begins with a ferocity that can only be described as electric. At its core, the coin is a symbol. On one side, the strong and steady profile of King George VI, who had only recently ascended to the throne after the abdication crisis of 1936. His image marked stability at a time when the monarchy needed it most. Flip the coin, and you find Britannia, armed with shield and trident, gazing defiantly over the seas. Together, they form a design that speaks of endurance, courage, and hope, a message Britain desperately needed as the world stood on the brink of war. Now imagine this coin resting quietly in your hand. At first glance, it may appear no different than any other piece of copper. Tarnished, perhaps dulled by age. But beneath that surface lies a fortune. In today's market, a well-preserved 1938 halfpenny can be worth millions. Yes, millions. It is the kind of discovery that changes a person's life overnight, the sort of coin that takes you from ordinary to extraordinary in the blink of an eye. Its value does not come from gold or silver, but from rarity and historical weight. That is the secret power of coins like this. They prove that value is not always about material but about meaning. The 1938 halfpenny holds meaning in abundance, from its place in the narrative of Britain's history to its role as a survivor in a world that has moved on. That blend of scarcity and symbolism is what makes it so desirable to collectors across the globe. Picture the excitement of a collector at an auction, when one of these coins makes its rare appearance. The room falls silent, tension builds, and the bids begin to climb higher and higher. Each hand raised is not just offering money, it is fighting for a piece of history, for a treasure that cannot be recreated, for a fortune sealed in copper nearly a century ago. When the hammer finally falls, the price often defies imagination, proving once again that this coin is no ordinary artifact. But the real magic of the 1938 halfpenny lies in the possibility of discovery. Somewhere, tucked away in an old box, hidden in a collection passed down through generations, or sitting unnoticed in a drawer, one of these coins could still be waiting. The thrill of finding one, of realizing its true value, is what drives so many enthusiasts into the world of coin collecting. For them, it is not just about profit, it is about the adventure, the dream of unearthing a fortune where none was expected. Owning this coin is not only about money, it is about legacy. To pass down a 1938 halfpenny is to pass down a story of Britain on the brink of war, a tale of resilience and survival, and a symbol of how even the smallest things can carry unimaginable worth. It becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a family heirloom, a crown jewel, a piece of eternity. And that is why this coin is so captivating. It combines the humility of its denomination with the grandeur of its value. It takes the ordinary and transforms it into the extraordinary. It is proof that history elevates the forgotten, and rarity transforms the overlooked into priceless treasures. The 1938 halfpenny is not just a coin, it is a miracle of survival, a legend in metal, a fortune in disguise. Collectors often describe the feeling of holding such a coin as indescribable. It is not simply the weight of copper in their hand, but the weight of history, the pulse of a nation's story, and the thrill of knowing that they hold something few others will ever touch. That is why the 1938 halfpenny remains one of the most valuable, most ultra-rare, and most life-changing coins in the collecting world. So, if you ever come across one, remember this: it is not just a coin, it is destiny. Do not let it slip through your fingers. Do not trade it away for pennies when its worth is millions. The 1938 halfpenny carries with it the power to change fortunes overnight. It is not only money, it is history, it is wealth, and it is legacy, all combined in a single, humble piece of copper. To own the 1938 halfpenny is to hold the key to fortune, a treasure of unimaginable value, and perhaps the one chance to become a millionaire, or even a billionaire, overnight. And that is why this coin, though small, is one of the mightiest in the world of numismatics. I am speaking about the 1940 halfpenny from the United Kingdom, a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that its value in today's market reaches into the millions. This is not just money, it is history, it is legacy, and it is fortune sealed in copper. If you ever come across one of these, do not spend it, do not trade it lightly, because it holds the power to turn you into a millionaire, perhaps even a billionaire, overnight. The year 1940 was a turning point not just for Britain but for the entire world. The Second World War had erupted, and Britain found itself in the darkest of hours. The Battle of Britain was raging, London was under bombardment, and the nation was fighting for survival. In the midst of such chaos, coins like the halfpenny of 1940 were minted, circulating in everyday life while the world around them burned. These coins were not only currency but silent witnesses to courage, resilience, and sacrifice. Today, they are priceless because they carry the weight of that history. What makes the 1940 halfpenny so valuable is not only its connection to such a pivotal year but also its rarity. Millions of coins were struck during that era, but few have survived in exceptional condition. Wartime hardships meant that coins were used heavily, worn down, and often destroyed in circulation. The rare pieces that remain sharp, untarnished, and pristine are treasures of unimaginable worth. They stand today as proof that even in times of great trial, beauty and history could still be minted into metal. The coin itself is a masterpiece of design. On one side, the steady and dignified portrait of King George VI, the monarch who guided his people through the terror of war. His image reflects resilience and quiet strength. On the reverse, the traditional figure of Britannia, seated proudly with shield and trident, watching over the seas that Britain depended upon so dearly. This design is more than decoration. It is a symbol of hope and defiance in one of the most perilous years in British history. Imagine holding one of these coins in your hand today. To the untrained eye, it may seem like a simple old copper token, dulled by the passage of time. But to a collector, to a historian, or to anyone who understands its significance, it is nothing less than a fortune. Its value is measured not just in dollars but in dreams, because in the world of collecting, rarity combined with history creates prices that go beyond imagination. Collectors across the world know the allure of the 1940 halfpenny. Auction houses have seen bidding wars where the price climbs higher and higher, each bid a declaration of desire for a treasure that cannot be replicated. For those who win, owning one of these coins is not just an investment, it is a triumph, a conquest of rarity itself. That is why stories circulate of these coins being sold for sums in the millions, making their owners overnight millionaires. What makes this coin even more magical is the thought of its hidden journey. Perhaps it was once in the pocket of a soldier preparing to defend his homeland. Perhaps it bought food for a family during rationing. Perhaps it passed across a shop counter in London even as air raid sirens wailed in the background. Every 1940 halfpenny carries with it untold stories of courage and survival. To own one is to inherit those stories, to hold history itself in your hand. Its value is not only financial but also symbolic. It reminds us that greatness often comes in humble forms. The smallest coin, one of the lowest denominations, is the very coin that today commands unimaginable wealth. This paradox gives it an almost mythical status in the numismatic world. It teaches us never to dismiss the ordinary, because sometimes the ordinary holds within it extraordinary fortune. The thrill of discovering such a coin cannot be described in words. To stumble upon one tucked away in an old collection or hidden in a family heirloom box is like finding buried treasure. What seems like an ordinary piece of change suddenly reveals itself as a key to fortune, a miracle in copper that has the power to transform lives. That is why the 1940 halfpenny is not just a collector's dream, it is destiny waiting to be discovered. And when you do discover it, it is more than wealth you are holding, it is legacy. To own the 1940 halfpenny is to own a part of Britain's greatest struggle and its greatest triumph. Passing it down to future generations means passing down more than just money. It means passing down a story of courage, resilience, and the power of survival. It becomes not just a coin, but a crown jewel of history. The story of this coin is a reminder that history shapes value, and rarity turns the humble into the priceless. The 1940 halfpenny is the perfect example of this transformation. It began as a simple copper coin used in everyday trade, but today, it stands as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare treasures in the world of numismatics. Its worth is measured not only in millions of dollars, but also in the unbreakable connection it creates between past and present. Collectors will tell you that holding a 1940 halfpenny is unlike holding any other coin. It has a presence, an aura, that is undeniable. It feels heavier, not in weight but in meaning. You are not simply holding copper, you are holding history, survival, pride, and fortune all at once. That is why its allure will never fade, and why its value will only grow as time marches on. So if you ever come across one, remember this: do not part with it cheaply. Do not underestimate it. This is not just a coin, it is a miracle in metal, a fortune in disguise, a relic of history that carries the power to change your life forever. The 1940 halfpenny is more than valuable, it is legendary. Next, the 1957 halfpenny from the United Kingdom, a coin that carries with it not only history but also the power to change your destiny forever. Do not underestimate this piece of copper, because in today's market it holds a value that can reach into the millions. If you have one, you may be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. The year 1957 was a remarkable one in British history. It was a time of rebuilding and transformation. Post-war Britain was stepping into a new modern age, industries were changing, and society was moving forward with renewed hope. In the midst of all this progress, the minting of coins like the halfpenny of 1957 continued, quietly slipping into circulation as everyday currency. But little did the world know that some of these coins would become among the most valuable and sought-after treasures of the future. The 1957 halfpenny carries the proud image of Queen Elizabeth II, the young monarch who had only recently ascended to the throne in 1952. Her portrait on this coin symbolized a new era, the dawn of modern Britain under her reign. On the reverse, the traditional sailing ship, the Golden Hind, representing adventure, exploration, and Britain's history of seafaring glory. The design itself makes the coin a piece of art, simple yet powerful, connecting the past with the present. What sets the 1957 halfpenny apart from so many others is its rarity and survival. While millions were minted, only a handful have survived in exceptional condition, untouched by circulation, shielded from the wear and tear of everyday use. These pristine survivors, flawless in their shine and detail, are what drive collectors into bidding wars at auctions, pushing their prices into the realm of millions. To own one is to possess not just a coin, but a crown jewel of numismatic history. Imagine, for a moment, stumbling across one of these coins in a forgotten drawer, a jar of old change, or a family collection passed down through generations. What looks like a simple copper token suddenly reveals itself as a hidden fortune, a ticket to financial freedom. This is why the 1957 halfpenny is often described as a coin that can change your life overnight. It transforms from ordinary metal into a symbol of unimaginable wealth. Collectors across the globe dream of holding the 1957 halfpenny. Its demand is relentless, its legend ever-growing. At auctions, the value skyrockets because rarity fuels desire, and desire fuels price. Each time one surfaces, it becomes a headline, a story of fortune discovered, a moment of history captured once again in the palm of someone's hand. The excitement it generates is unlike any other coin from mid-20th century Britain. This coin story is not just about wealth, though, it is about legacy. It represents Britain in the 1950s, a country rising from the shadows of war, finding its identity again, and placing its faith in a young queen who would go on to become one of the most iconic figures in modern history. To own the 1957 halfpenny is to own that legacy, to inherit a piece of a nation's journey through time. The magic of this coin lies in its paradox. It was one of the smallest denominations of currency, worth barely anything in its day. Yet today, it is among the most priceless treasures collectors can dream of. The smallest has become the greatest. The ordinary has become the extraordinary. And that is the beauty of numismatics, the world of coins where history and rarity turn humble metal into legends of fortune. When you hold a 1957 halfpenny, you are holding more than copper. You are holding art, history, resilience, and destiny all fused into one. The weight feels heavier, not in mass, but in meaning. Each tiny detail carved into its surface is a whisper from the past, reminding you of its journey through time, its survival, and its triumph. Stories circulate of people becoming millionaires overnight through coins like this, and the 1957 halfpenny is the perfect example of how that miracle can happen. It is not a myth. It is reality. The value is there, the demand is there, and the rarity is undeniable. For those lucky enough to own one, the path to fortune is already paved. So, what lesson does the 1957 halfpenny teach us? That the most powerful treasures often come in the smallest forms. That wealth can hide in plain sight. And that sometimes, destiny comes to us in the form of a humble coin, carrying with it the power to change our lives forever. For collectors, historians, and dreamers alike, the 1957 halfpenny is more than valuable. It is legendary. Its story is one of transformation, from a coin worth half a penny to a treasure worth millions. That is why, if you ever come across one, you must hold on to it with all your strength. Do not spend it, do not undervalue it, for this coin has the power to rewrite your fortune overnight. In the end, the 1957 halfpenny of the United Kingdom is not just currency. It is destiny cast in copper. It is fortune sealed in history. And it is one of the most ultra-rare, most valuable, and most expensive coins in existence today. Whoever owns one does not simply hold money, they hold a miracle.